Divya, would you refer me to a doula in my area? I feel it's a good idea. Yes, of course. It's a fantastic idea. Interview of you, I said, just like you interviewed me. That led to a new discussion of what questions should I ask? How do I interview? This episode will help you with this. Help you choose your doula, midwife, or birthkeeper and learn how to interview them. Welcome to the Birth Agni podcast, the fire that births us and transforms us. This is a space where women reclaim birth on their own terms, where deep ancient knowing meets primal courage. We talk birth, womanhood, breastfeeding, parenting, and the quiet power of choosing differently. Choosing of our own. Come as you are, leave more rooted. I'm Divya Kapoor, a childbirth educator, lactation counselor, trainee traditional midwife, and doula, disintegrating the politics of birth, one story at a time. But even before you go on to asking these questions, do this one activity. And I say this with utmost importance that you should be doing this activity because this will give you a lot of insight into what you're looking for in this person now that you want them to be a part of your birth space, about your birth team. And that's crucial. That's important. And that is like choosing the steering wheel for your car, right? So what's this activity? Sit with yourself, right? Find some time, put a hand on your belly, close your eyes, and sit in a very quiet place. Or put on your favorite music on low volume so you're not distracted. And start imagining yourself laboring. What will labor look like for you? Now imagine the one that you're wishing would be present around you. Start seeing them in your birth space. Imagine how you interact with them. Imagine how they stand around you and how you feel, how you behave in their presence. Imagine if they are standing too close to you or slightly away from you in this visualization. This will indicate how much of your birth space you are willing to share with someone intuitively. Imagine how you interact with them. Imagine how they share the space with you. Imagine them massaging you. Imagine them speaking to you. What comes to your mind? Now do not do this exercise in one go. So even while I'm narrating, some of you would have closed your eyes, would have started thinking. That's all right. Do not do this exercise in one go and come to conclusions. Whenever you think of having a doula or a midwife or a birthkeeper, allow these images to flow through for days. Do this activity for days. And you don't have to all the time sit and do it. You could be working, you could be doing something, and when thoughts start running in your head, allow them to come. And let this flow through you for days without any capping. Like no capping on your thoughts. Let them flow freely, for then you will also identify these two crucial things when you do this. One, your fears. If in case you see something you do not want to happen in your birth, but you still see it when you imagine. And now that spins your brain. Note it down. Note it down that came to you as a signal and bothers you. It makes you anxious, so see if you can work on it. Why do you fear it? Is it because you are uncertain how you can handle this situation? Then in that case, birth preparation will help you. Say you saw yourself in intense pain And now you're trying to avoid that thought and thinking, oh, I have an easy, quick 3-hour, 4-hour, 5-hour labor. That's how you're trying to imagine. But whenever you see that the labor can go on, you try and fight it. Now that's something you can work on with birth education, because for a lot of mothers, a 3-hour, 4-hour labor may not be helpful, may not be as beautiful. For some women, a 12-hour labor may be beautiful. For some 6, for some 3 as well. But it's not one size that fits all. Usually precipitous births come with their own set of situations that you may not be aware of. So, because social media throws all of this on you and you think that, a 3-hour labor is what I'm gonna go for. And that's what I'm prepping my body for. That's the ultimate. That's like getting 100 score in your birth. That's not how birth happens. So if these are the sort of fears that come to you, they are linked with uncertainty. They're linked with lack of knowledge. Birth preparation classes is what you need in this case. If despite knowledge, there is this fear that keeps coming back to you from these imaginations, then there is more to be done from your end. Maybe connecting back to yourself. Not all fears are bad. Some are directions. And some we overcome only with experience. So even if you try and work with them, you may not be able to work with them. There's nothing that you can do about a feeling. No matter how much you try, no matter how many healing modalities you use, all of them would be like distracting your mind away from it. Or trying to find a coping mechanism, which in itself is great. In fact, finding a coping mechanism to work with them is fantastic. That is helpful. But you may not be able to work on some of the things completely, and that's all right. Being aware of them is what you need the maximum from your end in pregnancy preparation. The only way to work with them during birth, during labor, during the experience is to listen to yourself and cultivate a connection with your inner voice. Something I do with my childbirth classes at length with my parents. We do discuss fears, we do discuss intuition, and how do we cultivate that. Everybody does it at their own pace. This fear, for example, can look like, I do not know whether I'll be able to take in labor. I know everything, but I do not know whether I'll be able to work with labor. Now that's an inherent fear. That's about how you see yourself. That's about how you navigate life. That's about how you see things around you. That is something that you may or may not be able to work completely by just, having some healing modalities, etc. Being aware of it and finding the coping mechanisms through it is fantastic. And then cultivating a connection back to yourself. Maybe none of this comes up during labor at all. At all, probably you don't need it, so it doesn't come up. And if it does, you're aware of it. And you're aware of, okay, I can work with it. That's what we need in most of the situations. And that's how we work on these things in my classes. The second thing that this exercise will reveal is your deep desires without any influence. It will reflect your desires, your wants, how you inherently want your birth to look like. So note these things down. Use this now as the basis of your questions that you're going to ask either your doula, your midwife, or your birthkeeper. If you are trying to find out what's the difference between a doula, a midwife, and a birthkeeper, then episode 2, Bite-Sized Pregnancy Series, will be able to help you answer this. It is way back in season 2. You'll be able to find it on the Birth Agni podcast. It says Bite-Sized Pregnancy Series, who is a doula, a midwife, and so on and so forth. So you can find that episode. I'll link this in the show notes, and you can go and understand who are you really trying to choose, and that will help you. Now, once you're more clear after this exercise about your needs, about your situation, you can tweak the questions that I'm about to give you as a sample to your needs primarily. And also get to know, which is very, very crucial. Now we're coming to a very crucial point, and get to know on what parameters are you going to interview this person. At the end of the episode, we will also talk about how you assess what you feel with a person beyond the parameters, beyond the logical mind. How do you assess what you feel with them? We'll discuss here by the end of this episode. That is one way you can harness your intuition when interviewing someone, and that's a trump card. So what are the sample questions to ask your doula, midwife, or birthkeeper? What do you think of birth? What do you think of natural birth? What do you think is not a natural birth? How do you think we can make birth the safest? What will your support look like during labor and birth? Do you do some antenatal sessions? Do you also do some postnatal sessions or care, or you have support services? Do you wish to ask us, meaning you and your partner, something? Now, while I say these questions, you don't have to pick up a pen and paper and write them down. You can always go back to the episode and then pick up a pen and paper and note them down. I highly recommend, don't let it just stay in your head so you forget. Absolutely go back to these questions. Go to the place where these questions are listed here in this episode and note them down to tweak them according to your needs after you do the exercise. You'll need that handy. Now, depending on where you're birthing, say you've decided on a birth center, you've decided on a home. So what are you going to ask them? So if it's a midwife, it's a birthkeeper. Now, according to them, what do you ask? So these were some of the common questions we discussed. Now, some tailored questions. Again, a sample. What is your take on the medical system's role in pregnancy and birth and postpartum? For a doula, you can ask, if there is a scenario where you and your partner need someone to advocate for them, for you, then how she'll be able to do it? What is her process? Maybe you've chosen a hospital and you want, or a birth center, and you want the doula to be able to advocate for you. Now, what's her process? How can she do that? Will the doula be able to support you at home if you do not want to go to the hospital or the birth center early on? Say you want to go to the hospital or the birth center deep into active labor. Will she be able to support you at home? And what does she feel about it? If it's for a birthkeeper or a midwife, you can ask questions related to going beyond 40 weeks, any reason they would transfer you to the hospital, their style of practice, what are their belief systems around birth, what do they think about breech births, and more. Like, how do they practice? What all do they have? And what all experiences have they had in the past? And what do they want to share with you? And a lot of the times, a doula, a midwife, or a birthkeeper would also want to ask you questions in return. So it is going to be a two-way interview because they are also trying to see whether they align with you. One of the markers that a lot of doulas, midwives, or birthkeepers may use, I specifically use when I work or when I get discovery calls from parents, is using the trump card. And so far, I've never, ever felt that when I use this trump card, something that comes naturally to all of us, I've been wronged at all in my decision. It has nothing to do with the person, the way they are. It's just what I feel around and about them, and what I feel in my body, and what it tells me. That's my intuition. That's how I'm harnessing my intuition. So I said at the end of the episode, you're going to know the trump card. So this is the trump card. Despite all the questions, now you've asked everything, you've spoken to this person in and out at length. You will have your own questions after the first activity that you do. So you must write these questions down and then tweak them according to your needs. But then, after the call, allow yourself to feel what you feel when you are in their presence. If it's a physical meeting, physical presence, or a virtual presence of this person, what do you feel in your body? How does it make you feel? Most of the times, many of us, when we feel an unusual stress or discomfort in our body, we are wired to shirk it off. We try and find reasons. So why did I think that? Probably I didn't hear her properly. I don't know. I don't find a logical explanation to pinpoint why I felt restless in my body. It has to do with me. Maybe there's some issue with me. I'm scared of something, which is why I'm feeling like this. We always try and shirk it off. You might try and find a reason to attach to it, but that's not how intuition works. Often, this leads people later to realize why they felt the eeriness in the first place. Later, when they start working with this person, they start joining the dots and they realized why. Why were they restless in the first meeting? It was telling them something. And that is your intuition. That is a voice deep beyond your comprehension that you should be listening to, that I listen to. Sometimes when I don't listen to it, it comes back to me and gives me more reasons to listen to it. So I'm learning to adhere to it in the first go. For many of you, learning to adhere to it, maybe after a few more signals that you get from that one power that is guiding us, will help you work on it more. Also, build self-connection. It's a subtle voice that guides us. Often, it's speaking to us through our body. Our body is a vessel of consciousness. It's an energy system. It's electrical in nature. It reacts to magnetic fields around you, and that is not necessarily physical. Sometimes, you also feel the vibes and the energy of somebody through a virtual meeting. And I'm not trying to say that the person is bad. That person may not align with your values. And maybe in the very first meeting, you feel that in your body, like a mammal. Like a mammal feels that I'm being followed by someone from behind, or there's danger, I just sense it. You sense it. And in pregnancy, you sense it 1,000 times more. Your senses are heightened. Your sixth sense, if I can say, that's the intuition, that's heightened. So listening to it is paramount. Listen to your body. If you feel restlessness, fear in your body, being around someone, it's important to take note of that and sit with that feeling. Which is why I say when you are interviewing someone, do not be in a hurry, in your kind, courteous, gentle, sweet way, to say yes or no in the very first call. You do not have to make that decision, and I do that for myself when I'm taking that first discovery call. Take some time to sit with yourself and then allow your feelings and your body to guide you. Not your logical mind, not your thoughts, how you feel in this person's presence, even if you cannot articulate it right now, or figure out why you feel that way. Listen to this feeling, and when we walk on the path of intuition, answers almost always unfold back to us after. It all starts making sense. All the dots join later. You will have a full circle and things will happen for you. You will be able to see that. And that further builds trust over time with this intuition. So listening to your intuition will become at some point second nature when you start. At some point. And pregnancy is a great time because the entire process of birth needs you to be in touch with yourself. Not what your educator said, not what you think is your identity in terms of your opinions. Your own personal opinions should not be a cage for you. No. Be guided by your present mind. When I say present, the one that's there subconsciously available to you all the time. Let that guide you. And then this trust will build over time. And that, for you, my friends, is your trump card. So you know all that you need now to be able to interview the midwife, the birthkeeper, or the doula. And if you want to know what's the difference between them, you can also go to the website and go to the blog. You can also go to the episode 2 of the Bite Size Pregnancy series, who is your doula, who's your midwife, who's your birthkeeper, and go through it. And you'll have that knowledge. I hope you found this episode helpful. Please, please, please do drop us a rating on Spotify or Apple to push this episode forward for other moms like you on the charts. It really helps us in reaching more audience, and all this information is crucial for everyone to have. So if you like this, if you think this helped you one bit, this is the least we expect you, and we would like you to do. And we are so grateful that if you could give us a rating on Spotify or Apple. All the efforts that go in seem like joyful. They seem joyful. They don't seem like a burden at times when you're trying to put all of this together. The free guide to childbirth with the first round of reviews is undergoing a few important areas of improvement, and this improved version 2 will be out on 5th September 25. For all of you who had signed up for the free birth guide, you were to receive it today, the 1st of September, but we are releasing the version 2 and we need a bit more time. Next week, later this week, you'll be able to receive it. All of you must have already received an email that there is going to be a version 2 of the extended guide that you can get, which also means you still have time to sign up for the extended version 2, which is even the more improvised one, after which it will default to our basic core guide. Link is in the bio, or you can visit the website www.birthagni.com and sign up right at the homepage now for the free birth guide. Much love, and I will see you with another episode of Birth Nerdiness. Till then, please take care and remember, you got the power. There is a field beyond fear where the body is empowered to take on labor and birth. To land there, it is crucial to take birth education. To enroll into our unique labor and birth preparation course, reach out to us at www.birthagni.com or scroll through all available prenatal and postnatal preparation classes. Thank you for listening, all in the spirit of birth, womanhood, and freedom. Remember, you got the power. This podcast is about physiological birth and does not offer or claim to provide medical knowledge or diagnosis. Starting a podcast with poor recording tools in the market? It was painful until I found Zencastr. Its high-quality audio and video recording, along with the option of a backup, makes it super sturdy and a savior at times. With an easy-to-use dashboard and super convenient tools for advertising campaigns such as reels and videos, Zencastr is my comfort choice. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use my code BIRTHAGNI, BIRTHAGNI, and you will get 30% off of your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. I want you to have the same easy experiences I do for all my podcasting and content needs. You may also explore their free hobbyist plan to begin with.